Hey guys.
Hey.
So today we're going to talk about the one thing that is stopping you from going from financial struggle to financial success. This might be something you may not have even considered.
Yep, we're going to dive in and give you examples from our own life actually and our family life. And we're going to then offer you almost remedies for how you can solve this specific problem in your life in order to move from a place of financial struggle or financial stress to a place of financial success over time. My name's Ken.
And I'm Mary.
Of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. What we do on this channel here is to give you guys the tips, the insights, the practical hacks to help you guys work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. All right, let's dive in now. We're going to get really candid here and talk about this one thing. It's something that people don't often think about at all. Okay, we think about many other things going on in our lives, such as our budgeting and, the fact that we might not be earning enough income or the fact that we might be in debt. But we don't go underneath to ask ourselves, what's the root cause for why we are where we are in our lives today? Because you look around in life, right? You see some people are absolutely trailblazing and doing incredible things. And then you look and see other people, which might be you or might not be, and those people are struggling and trying to move forward, okay? So there's one thing we want to reveal today, and that one thing is...
the money blueprint.
Yep, the money blueprint. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what on earth is the money blueprint? So I'm going to give you a definition real quick. The money blueprint, according to looking this up on Google, is essentially how you've been programmed to respond to money and wealth throughout your life, beginning in your childhood. Essentially, your ideas around money and wealth that you might have picked up from your parents, from your guardians, and from the people around you, which in effect has formed and in effect programmed you for either success in the future or programmed you for, struggle or lack and so on. Okay. This is a really important topic because we often don't talk about this idea of the money blueprint, in terms of what we have learned from our parents. Okay. So we're going to dive into that now and explore this idea and walk you through the key points you should be looking out for working out your money blueprint, what it set you up for. And then we're going to speak to you about what you can begin to do today to change that picture, in order to achieve financial success. All right, so to keep this fun, we're just going to talk about our situation first of all. So, what phrases did you hear growing up when you think about money and success and wealth? Like, what jumps out to you as something that you remember hearing either your parents saying or the people around you, that kind of stuff?
So there are a few, but the one thing that immediately jumps to me was, when I was young and I'd go out with my parents, if I got hungry and I maybe said to my parents, oh, can I please have McDonald's? Usually McDonald's or KFC. Their response, 99.9% of the time, was always, there is rice at home.
Wow. And many of you, I'm hoping, many of you watching this can relate to that phrase. Say that phrase again. What's the phrase?
There is rice at home.
There's rice at home.
I mean, do you know what? Probably, if you had African parents, 99.9% chance is that you have been told that yourself.
Wow.
I mean, was that...
So that's interesting.
That?
Definitely had that phrase in our household in different ways, said in different ways. But I'd love to know actually from the people watching, did you have that phrase growing up? Did you have there is rice at home, essentially? And a lot of the people who are, from the African part of the world will know what we're talking about. It'd be interesting to know if other people watching this actually had similar phrases at home. The one thing I remember growing up, let's say I said, for example, let's go on holiday or let's go to a theme park. The one thing I'd get back was, that's what white people do.
Oh, really?
That's it. That's what white people do.
In what sense? They were rich.
Well, yeah, because it just wasn't what we did. I guess as a black family or as immigrants. I don't know. Yeah. We don't go on holiday. Like, what are you on about? That's what white people do. So it'd be interesting to know from you guys, like, what kind of things did you hear from your parents
Yeah.
growing up. We've got some really good examples here of things you might have heard. Things such as, it takes money to make money.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Money doesn't grow on
Trees.
trees. Yep. Money doesn't make you
Happy.
possibly. Money is the root of all
Evil.
right? So lots of these examples, such as, you go to buy something and the phrase then comes, we can't afford it. And it carries on. What's interesting is thinking to yourself, how do those phrases that you heard from your parents, how are they influencing your life today?
Oh, yeah. Like with my example of there's rice at home, there are times when we go out and, we're hungry and I say to you, now baby, sorry, we've got something in the fridge. I'll whip something up really fast. And I've even, oh my gosh, told the boys there is rice at home. When they got to McDonald's, cannot believe I've actually am saying it to my boys now, myself. But so that's one example of.
So it's played so interestingly for you, because there's rice at home is essentially saying it's coming from a place of scarcity, right?
Yeah. So even when we have the money, I still rather would just make something at home as opposed to buying takeaway when we're out. So yeah.
Are there other things that you've heard from your parents that have had really positive beyond that to the point?
So obviously I grew up in a Christian home and that's our faith now. And I've just always was told, especially when it was my birthday, we wish you long life and prosperity. So yeah, I've always just growing up knowing that with God all things are possible. So there was never kind of like a limit to what we could achieve, what I could achieve.
But interestingly though, because saying that, because it's interesting, it's an interesting one, because a lot of people, even with that mindset, don't do any work. Because they're expecting things to suddenly like show up from above.
True.
Right? So that's a good and a bad thing as well, because I know for certain that you can pray all you want, but if you don't put that foot forward and do some work, nothing actually happens. Which will bring us, we're going to have some examples of things that you can start to do today if you face some of these mindset type things, patterns that have been almost inbuilt into your subconscious. We're going to share some things that will help you kind of move on from that.
So what about yourself? What else have you heard?
Well, so when I think about the one thing from a positive standpoint that I remember very clearly was not to rely on one source of income, which has been a big part of our fascination with exploring multiple streams of income and stuff like that. I remember my mum always saying that. I used to think, well, okay, but, it's later in life that started to kind of become a thing, started to become a big thing, because I thought, actually, my parents were absolutely right. Because I'd seen the consequences of relying on one source of income. And that, in a really positive light, has, helped to change our lives in many ways as well.
Be interesting to know, guys, what were the blueprints or some of the things that you've heard growing up that's actually formed your financial blueprint today?
Yeah, so here are key questions. Are you set up for success or for failure around money? Right, that's a question to consider, right? Are you set for struggle or ease around money? Yeah, and the final one is, are you set for working really hard for money? Or have you been set up for abundance? Because some people grow up and through the way their parents brought them up, they've been set for life for abundance. The way they think about money, they think about money from a whole different level. Whereas other people think from the perspective of, I'm going to work hard, right? I'm going to swap my time for money. So let us know, what came to mind as you considered those questions? Did something come to you that might reveal why you might be struggling financially today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to know. Okay, so now we've revealed to you the one thing that's stopping you going from financial struggle to financial success, which is your money blueprint. How can you change that?
Good question.
Yeah. So the way you can begin to change that is through a process of modeling. Okay. Modeling and repetition. By that we mean success always leaves clues. Without a doubt. So who do you admire in the world who has achieved a level of success? Maybe financial success or other forms of success. Who are they? And the way you start to change that aspect of your subconscious in terms of those patterns that have been almost inbuilt into you from childhood is to start to model successful habits and successful ideas and successful ways of thinking.
Yes.
Okay. Which is why we talk about personal development as a big thing in our lives, reading books, going on courses that are specific, that might help you achieve some of your goals, coaching, finding somebody who might mentor you and stuff like that, being part of a mastermind even, or a small group of people of the same mindset. All those things are ways in which you are starting to essentially reset some of those subconscious beliefs. You're starting to model successful habits and almost put them on repetition. And it's that repetition over time that starts to rewrite some of those inbuilt, almost that money blueprint that you'd set perhaps at a particular level growing up. But over time, through this process of modeling and repetition, you can set that money blueprint at a whole different level.
So how do rich people actually think differently, in terms of money mindset?
To other people who perhaps are not rich. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's explore some of those ideas, right? And we got talking about these, and these really will open your mind if you've never thought about it from this perspective. So the first one we've got is this idea of I design my life versus life just happens to me. Okay? Because you find with a lot of people who are struggling financially that they just go along with life and life just happens.
And they say things like, oh, maybe it's meant to be.
Yeah.
No, it's not meant to be. You can rewrite it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can change the game.
You can choose to create a different life. And I know this can be challenging because this doesn't happen, like that. It doesn't happen instantly.
Yeah.
But it's a conscious decision to say that I am going to recreate my life. I'm going to design the life that I want and taking an active position in making that happen rather than just going along and letting life happen and reacting to life instead.
The second thing is that rich people play the role of winners instead of victims.
Absolutely.
So victims, they play the blame game and that, it's not their fault. Like something else in the air or the environment is stopping them. Or people even stopping them from succeeding in life.
And they complain
and justify it. Exactly. They try to justify it with all these manner of excuses instead of just saying that I can actually control my destiny here.
Yeah, we're not saying you're the victim in this scenario. It might be someone but we're just saying, this is actually what we've seen. There's a change in the way you approach life when you admit to yourself that I'm going to stop being a victim and acting like one and complaining and justifying it. I'm going to move on with a winner's mindset. Okay, and this is where you talk about goals, you talk about vision, you talk about all the other things that follow that, strategy and so on. But again, all connected to this whole idea that you can be the change in your life rather than letting life just happen to you.
The third thing that rich people do is that they get simple things done every day over a long period of time.
In effect, rich people stay consistent, right? So really simple examples, such as investing your money. You can either choose to invest once or invest whenever you feel like it, or you can do the simple thing of setting up your direct debit or your standing order and getting your money invested on a consistent basis. That simple thing done consistently over a long period of time is exactly what makes you rich.
Yes. And the second example is just as simple as setting your alarm to wake you up early every morning.
Yeah, and this is powerful if you're somebody who is looking to start a side business or you are working a full-time job, but you want to explore other alternatives for making yourself some extra money. You will not achieve that without achieving that one simple thing of setting your alarm, going to bed earlier the night before, and actually waking up. And it sounds really simple, and it is, but that is a rich mindset. It's not until you've actually done that one thing of being able to be consistent, doing that simple thing consistently over a long enough period, such that waking up early becomes a part of your habits, part of who you are. Only by doing that do you then commit the time towards perhaps focusing on a side hustle or a business or whatever it is you're doing, or some extra learning even, in order to further yourself and perhaps make yourself some extra income over time.
So tell us, what does your money blueprint say about you?
Yeah, and do you feel you've been conditioned for success Or do you feel you've been conditioned for struggle, from your childhood? Being open about it, really thinking about it, and thinking far back like we did. We had to do it this morning ourselves, to the various instances or phrases, things our parents said, will absolutely help you understand what that money blueprint looks like today, such that you can then start to apply some of those ideas we shared in this video around modeling and repetition in order for you to change those subconscious patterns you've developed since your childhood, in order to help you really turn your life around financially. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed it, we'd love for you to hit that like button, because it really helps encourage a ton more people to engage with our videos. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as the notifications bell, so you get notified when we publish our videos, typically twice a week, on a Tuesday as well as a Thursday.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And in everything, be thankful and seek joy.
Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.